Hello and welcome to Six Figure Souls Doing Good and Making Money. This is a special season 5 where I'm interviewing all of the co-authors from our book, The Ultimate Guide to Creating a Soul-Aligned Business, 25 Practical Strategies from the Experts. I am your host, Camille Miller. I am the pioneer for the soul professional movement and lead author for this book. Today, I am really happy to announce or have with us today, Jackie Roby, and she was the author of chapter 18, Seducing the Soulful Traveler, Marketing Wellness Authentically and Strategically. Thanks, Jackie, for joining us today.
Oh, absolutely, Camille. I'm so honored.
So love having you. I forgot to show the book. If you haven't seen the book, this is it. So tell me, was this your first time being an author?
Yes, actually. I write a lot. I've written articles for, digital papers. I've written professional things, blog posts. I do my own marketing, but to actually author a chapter was a completely different experience.
Yeah. So what made you decide that now was the time that you were stepping forward, you were doing this, and you were really telling your story, which was so inspiring?
Thank you. It was the universe, honestly. I had been told right before I started my business, or right as I was starting it in 2019, that I should write a book. And I thought, who wants to hear from me? And then, it kind of kept coming up and I realized, oh, this is something I want. So on New Year's Eve, I was writing my goals for my business and things that I was looking to manifest for the next couple of years. And I said that in 2023, I wanted to write a book. Lo and behold, within a month, this opportunity came my way.
Wow, that's terrific. That's terrific. So what was your experience writing your story, your chapter? Tell me what was that like, because I feel like it unleashes. So it did. This is my first time writing too. So I always thought I had a book in me, but I wasn't so sure what that story was. I knew what I felt, I know what I lead, but I really wasn't sure. So this collaborative experience made it possible for me just to kind of get into that mindset, really, and being able to do just a chapter seemed doable. But it really unleashed way more than I thought. And now I feel like I can't wait to do the next book. But and I felt it was time to tell my story, but I don't think I knew it until I started writing, if that makes sense. What was your experience with all of that?
It was interesting for me because I have been very vulnerable with sharing a lot of my story in my business and through speaking engagements, my podcast. This particular story, finding it, choosing which one to tell, I think that was probably the biggest challenge.
Okay.
And not including too much backstory.
I totally get that part.
Yeah, like, do they need to know this? But what about this experience? And wasn't that really important? And having the team at Brave Healer say, no, it wasn't. And let's tap into that real moment, that shift for you within this one particular event that you're speaking to. So that was interesting and challenging and exciting.
Excellent. I love that. All right. So tell our listeners a little bit about you and your background, what you do, so that'll frame the chapter a little bit for them.
Absolutely. So I've spent the past 20 years in the travel industry, in travel and hospitality, in the sales and marketing field. And my business I launched in 2019 is called Inspired Journey Consulting. And in this space, I help the visionaries in wellness and healing travel to communicate the magic of their message. And I do that through sales and marketing, strategy, consulting, training, and coaching.
Wow. So how does the travel come into that piece?
So wellness and healing travel this amazing niche within the travel industry.
Gotcha.
And I had not even uncovered that this was a thing
Okay.
until 2019. And for me, that was bonkers. It just was, I spent my career in travel and I talk to experts and I travel the globe. I meet people all over, and colleagues now and professionals and people who have been in this longer don't know about wellness and healing. So I created my business to make a change in that space.
You're also talking about personal travel for your own self-care. You're not talking about retreats and things that people do for their wellness business, but taking care of yourself for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, while I work with the people who are creating it for you, I want to reach everyone.
Yeah.
To show that you can get this support to kind of either kickstart or reinvigorate your own healing journey. And it's such an amazing way to do it. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And you talk a little bit about your journey in your chapter of discovering what this is for you and why you do it. So very inspiring chapter. I'm so happy it's in the book. So being soul aligned, do you feel, because this is a book about being aligned with your business, and I think that there's a big part of taking your professional self and your personal self and dovetailing those worlds together to be one whole authentic person. And I feel like you did this when you created this new business in 2019. Were you always soul aligned, or do you feel like you're still going through an awakening? What's that process like for you?
No, I absolutely was not always soul aligned. I had to clear out a lot of muck in order to get there.
Yeah.
Corporate position, we had been in this sales training and they had us do these personality tests, as you do. And this one was really sales specific, and it had two graphs, one who you are in your personal life and one who you are at work. And, people tended to have those different, and mine matched. So I'm somebody who would bring myself into work, but the businesses weren't necessarily aligning with me.
I love that.
So now with Inspired Journey, I have the opportunity to really live my truth.
A beautiful way of saying it. I love that exercise. I wish more people would go through that exercise, because I think there's a lot of strategies in this book that also do things like that. I know mine's kind of similar to who you want to be every single day and make sure you're doing it in your business. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Last question for you is about the overall book. If you've read some great book for others to pick up and read.
I'm almost through the book. So I'm very everybody's strategy. Rewarding.
My last question for you is, how did you find the overall book? I don't know if you've read some other chapters or how far you've come. I know that you've had the chance to meet authors because we've talked about it all together. So what do you think about the overall book and why people should buy it?
Oh, I love this book. I'm almost done with it. And it's taken me some time because I'm very intentional and I go through everyone's strategy and I do the work. And that's very powerful. I've been excited about things that I've learned about myself. I loved being introduced to human design. And as Christy Sullivan says, I'm down the rabbit hole now. I'm 6 books in to learning about it. And there's one exercise I loved around creating this persona for your relationship with money. Oh, amazing. There's just so much goodness in it. I think not only is it fantastic for your business that you're creating, but it's also really good for anybody in their career
Yeah.
to just align professionally. And oftentimes we get to this point as we progress that we're not getting the support anymore. Nobody's coaching us to move forward.
Right.
And this really helps you to do that for yourself.
Yeah. And look inside.
Yes.
Like I thought reading everybody's chapter, I was overwhelmed by how good the book was. Right. Because I only saw my writing and I didn't read anyone's chapter along the way until right before we went to print. I did a read through and I was blown away, just blown away. But even where I am in my business, I think it's just as important to read as if I was starting on my very first day or even contemplating being in entrepreneurship. Like there is something there for absolutely everybody.
100% agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I want to remind everyone, it looks better on this side. It's 25 practical strategies from the experts. It is on Amazon list for starting a business. We're very excited. In the first 24 hours, we ranked there. We hit 6 categories for new releases to go get this book. I know I'm the lead author, but it really is. Every single author shares a story and a strategy, and you don't have to read it from cover to cover. You can pick different chapters that really align with part of our podcast today and bringing your story to everyone. For movement, you can go to soulprofessional.com, a global professional aligned on business and money and time that works for you.